say, I was listening to the debut album, Elohim, and I was listening to Skinny Legs, and the line from All Apologies, all we are is all we are, popped out to me at the end.
I love that part. I miss that part because I don't play it live because I go into the remix of Skinny Legs, which is one of my favorite parts of the show. But I always forget about the verse, and it was one of my favorite moments of writing music.
Yeah, that's so cool. I'm glad that I brought it up, and I'm glad that Skinny Legs walked into the chat, so we had an opportunity to say that. Are you a big Nirvana fan? It must have been. It is a throwback to All Apologies, right?
It is, yeah. I mean, Nirvana to me, I'm actually in a room and there's a painting of Kurt Cobain in this room, actually. But yes, I feel really inspired by Nirvana, and just, I watched a documentary not too long ago, and, it was really interesting to see the mental health side of, things, and how mental health has been, in the music industry for a very long time, and only now is it being talked about. So yeah, from like a mental health aspect, when you listen to those lyrics, you can tell that they're really coming from a dark place. And, I think people are like, oh, I want to be like this person who's like this rock star and went through all these things, but like ultimately, passed away. And, you don't want to go through what these people are going through. It's horrible, and if you do go through those things, it's actually nice to have somebody to relate to.
Absolutely. I totally can relate to that statement, because I think maybe it's something about being really young and being caught in the hormonal headfuck that is like your preteen and your teenage years. But like, there's a moment where you kind of do, in spite of yourself, romanticize this like struggling 100%. Artist image, and then hopefully you mature enough at some point in your life to realize that that's not what you want to go through, and maybe you have to go through it a little bit. You got to go through it to get through it a little bit.
That's why I say that. Yeah, it's very true. I mean, I've struggled so much, and when I'm going through it, people around me are like, I've had people say to me, like, I didn't know that mental health was a real thing until I experienced firsthand, like, watching you go through this. And they're like, it's like nothing I've ever experienced. And, someone who's actually on tour with me, his sister struggled really bad with, depression and anxiety. And he was like, I always kind of discounted or discredited her because I didn't really think it was real, because you often don't see it because people are, walking this life and having to hide it and, kind of pretend we're okay. And so yeah, I feel like I've been, this way of kind of showing that to people, and that's been, rewarding, but it is also, it is a struggle. And yes, it does inspire really weird and real lyrics, but it is also, a big struggle to go through it. So yeah, but sometimes you gotta go through it to get it.
I think you always have to. It's like, did you ever watch, or at least you have to know about Dora the Explorer, right?
Totally.
And like, it's kind of like, we can't go over the anxiety, we can't go under the anxiety, because we have to go through it.
That's so true. I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah, you're the Dora of electronic music. I don't know. Gosh. Sorry, that's weird. I don't know if you want to be the Dora. Anywho, no, I appreciate that you have always been so candid about those struggles. And I didn't mean for us to kind of immediately start talking about this subject, but that's just to your credit that you don't shy away from being honest about these things. And I think it's unfortunate that maybe some people can see that honesty and be like, oh, is it some sort of put on or something? But also you have a fun way of creating a whimsical sonic universe around all of these things, which I think is courageous, because you're not just letting yourself get stuck in the muck and the mire of the whole thing. I don't know if there's a question in there so much as just a thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that. Yeah. And sometimes, I'll even make a song, like I have a song called Good Day, Bad Day. And it's like, even Journey to the Center of Myself, it has these elements of sounding kind of fun and happy, but the lyrics are, quite painful and just more real, I would say, than anything. And, but much like anxiety or mental health, sometimes on the outside, you have to sort of like put on this, front of being okay. And so it's sort of that like juxtaposition of like trying to go through life and then also going through that at the same time, and, living in these two worlds. Because I do have a very like fun side to me, and I do love life most days, and I love those days where I feel like I'm thriving, and so yeah, it's interesting. I don't think like, just because the lyrics are very real, it doesn't have to go with really sad music. It can still be a party song or whatever, just like a fun electronic song, but really speak truth. And then maybe also will trick some people into listening to it, and then hearing those lyrics.
It's the spoonful of sugar that helps the medicine go down.
Yes, exactly.
We're just like, we're dancing. Wait, what was that lyric? Therapy? This is therapy. I mean, live music can be therapy, so
Totally. And like I think I always say, I had a Twitch show actually, music is medicine, and I really do think that it is, and music is magic. Like it comes out of thin air, and it's therapy for me to create it, and then it can be therapeutic for people to listen to it. So it's like it's the best thing ever.